We get to the guys that. Well, let's first look at the guys that have moved on. We've referenced Sione Takitaki quite a bit. He signed a 2-year deal to go to the New England Patriots. Anthony Walker signs, I believe, was it a 1-year deal with Walker?
You go to Dolphins?
I think it was 1 for 8. I'll double check though.
Yeah, he went to the Dolphins, and then Mike Ford, good special teams, fourth corner, goes to the Texans, I believe. So. I know we've already talked a little bit about Takitaki.
The Takitaki one is the most shocking one because of the production he had. I think Mike said he was, third in pass coverage grade last year or something like that?
Yeah, he graded in the top 5 in terms of – and you want to be high in this, but passer rating against, catches allowed, and yards after catch after reception.
Yeah, so he had a very productive season, and he was a guy that I just thought continuously got better.
Yes.
You know, the passing and attack got so much better because the linebackers finally dropped back in coverage, got in those dig windows, and made the guys put air on it. As a DB, you appreciate those type of things. So I was shocked to see him go because I thought he still had so much room to grow. You know, this would have been year 2 in Jim Schwartz.
Right.
He's already adapted that attitude of Jim Schwartz. I wanted to see how much better he could have gotten. So that one shocks me the most. Mike Ford, the Mike Ford thing, that's one of those things that's under the radar. A lot of people will be like, it's just Mike Ford.
Right.
But special teams is the big thing, especially when you got a good gunner like him. And on top of that, when Denzel did go out and he stepped in, you know, Odell got him on the thing, but he ended up making a play on Lamar, tackle Lamar, then got the pick. So he has some production coming in and he brought attitude. That's something that's going to be missed. Anthony Walker, that's my dog. I've been knowing him since the Colts days. We played together in the Colts. He just didn't stay healthy. Anthony Walker's a really good player. When he's healthy, he's a great leader, and he does all the right things. But at the end of the day, you can't make the club in the tub, and he just continuously got hurt. But I think he'll bounce back. Hopefully, Miami, you know, he'll get to be able to start as the Mike linebacker, and I think he'll be productive there.
I've never heard that one. Can't make the club in the tub.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's what they tell you. If you like an undrafted on the fence, all the vets will be like, hey, you in this training room. You can't make the club in the tub. You better get out on that field.
That's really good.
Jason, best guess, was it Takitaki that didn't want to come back or that the Browns didn't want him?
It sounds like the Browns wanted to upgrade that spot. That's the feeling I'm
different type of linebacker.
Yeah, and the thing
Hicks is better against the run.
But Taki's best spot was in the middle.
Yeah.
In his time here.
Yes.
And 2 years ago when Walker went down was the first time I felt like Taki really sort of flashed. And then he built on that and had a pretty solid season, a really solid season this year.
Well, I kept telling y'all that they had him at Sam, and I said, no, he needs to be at Mike.
Yeah.
And they finally put him at Mike, and he started making plays. But the thing about him, what I don't know about Takitaki, all that stuff is great, all the numbers is great, but at the end of the day, you need a leader. I don't know if he's a vocal leader at the mic. Like, that's the one thing that because I don't know him. I don't like when he don't come off to me as the guy that's doing the speeches and stuff like that. Like, he don't give you that Ray Lewis speech. And I think at the mic, you got to have that guy. That guy has to be the captain of the defense. And I don't know. Not saying he can't be. I just don't think he was the captain of the defense.
Yeah. Today, Hicks is a better player than Takitaki.
Right.
So from that sense, they upgraded.
Yeah.
But it just feels like there's so much more there with Takitaki, and the arrow is pointing up. I expect him to go on and have a really good career for himself. The Walker thing I was not surprised by. He couldn't stay healthy.
Right.
So that was the least surprising of all the guys that left.
As we look, it's been, just about 24 hours since the tampering period began. We'll add in the trade for Jerry Jeudy.
Mm-hmm. They need to get Jerome Baker.
Overall, how you feeling about the first, 24, 48 hours here of what the Browns, how you feeling about, what they've gained, what they've lost?
They haven't made, I guess Judy's a splash.
Yes.
In free agency, they haven't really made a splash, which I don't know that I'm really surprised by.
Right.
I think that they've made very sound, strategic, financially responsible moves. Is that,
that's true.
To me, when you look at the Browns, it wasn't like they were missing a lot.
That's right.
Like, the team was a good team.
Yes.
And they showed you how good of a team they could be. When the quarterback went down, the next man up was still really good, and they built really good depth. So I think that a lot of these free agents that was coming up, they were all like, it doesn't matter because it's like the next guy's already been groomed, so they're comfortable with the next guy going in there. Like, even if they didn't get Zadarius Smith, Alex Wright had a productive end of the season. Like, it's just so many things. At the end of the day, number 4 has to play. It comes down to
we
that.
can talk about all this other
At the
stuff.
end of the day, as long
right.
as Deshaun plays, they already showed you. They showed you last season they have enough to win games, get to the playoffs, and still be successful. They just need that quarterback play that can take care of the ball, that can make plays when it's time to happen. They have some players to do it. Judy was a good upgrade at what they had.
Yeah, that was their biggest
That was the
upgrade.
biggest thing that we needed.
Yeah.
And we already answered the other question about who's going to play opposite of Miles with Zadarius Smith.
Yeah.
So they did everything that they supposed to do. Only thing for me is outside of those two things, I always said I wanted a linebacker. Hicks is a linebacker. Now, I don't know. You might need some pieces behind him because
they need some
I
more.
don't know who they.
Yeah.
What's his name? The
Diabate.
Diabate.
Isn't Tony Fields a free agent, right?
Like, you need to bring
remember
in
that.
another linebacker.
Yeah, definitely.
Because linebackers get hurt over the course of the season.
Maybe even
So,
two more
like, I want my boy Jerome Ford, go Bucks, guy from Cleveland. I'm going ahead and do my campaign in AB. Just go ahead and bring my boy Jerome Ford home. Him alongside of JOK, you got 2 athletes out there.
Yeah.
I might not like it, but I don't care. They got 2 athletes out there. JOK has showed you what he could do. If he could get some of that, Jerome Baker is pretty much essentially the same kind of guy. I think it could be special. And he'll do it because he's from Cleveland. So, he wants to see Cleveland succeed. So he put his body on the line just to see Cleveland succeed. Go Bucks, by the way.
Let's face it, Tyvis, you hit the nail on the head. Everything else is window dressing.
Yeah.
We've said this a zillion times. I've said it a zillion times. I don't want to hear this nonsense. My man G's been starting to peddle that. We only need Deshaun to be decent. No. Don't give me that nonsense. The Browns didn't give up 3 draft picks plus and pay him all that money to be decent.
Yep.
Yeah.
They acquired him.
Decent.
They had decent. Baker Mayfield was decent. They wanted great.
Yep.
They paid and traded for Deshaun Watson because he was great in Houston. He's got to be great here. If he's great here, the Browns can win a Super Bowl. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Decent ain't going to get you past the Chiefs.
Decent's not getting you past the Chiefs in the playoffs. It's not getting you past the healthy Bengals in the playoffs. It's not even though they beat them last year. It's not getting them past the healthy Ravens in the playoffs either. Let alone the Bills or who else? All these other teams, the Texans, the Chargers. The AFC is loaded and loaded with great quarterbacks. This division. If I would have told you 5 years ago that the debate, or 5 years ago, how long has Deshaun been in the league? He's been in the league, 6 years?
2017 was his first year. I believe.
Okay. If I would have told you in 2019 that we would be having a debate, who's the worst quarterback in the AFC North, Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson? You would have said, what? That's crazy. But that's how good this division is.
Yeah.
All right? I know Russell's not your guy, but
Will you stop with that? Why do you always say that?
he's an upgrade in Pittsburgh, is he not?
Yes.
From what they have,
absolutely.
Right? 100%.
I think he's in his move to the Pittsburgh Steelers puts him
Brilliant.
back in the category. First of all, I don't know what it is about him, but he always goes to a team with a really good defense. Denver's defense was really good when he first got there. Obviously, the LOB was the LOB.
And they could run Pittsburgh.
But Pittsburgh can
wants.
run the ball better. So
let him throw 20 times
So
a game.
he's really better in a better situation. He's got the weapons around him.
Yeah.
It's a Seattle's-like situation with
what Russell is good at is not turning the ball over.
Exactly.
That's his strength.
So I think that makes them scary to me.
He's a great fit there. It's the only division in football where you can make an argument for all 4 teams being capable of double-digit wins.
Has all 4 teams from one division made the playoffs?
We talked about this.
No, that's only been possible since they went to 17 teams.
Right.
17 games
Yeah.
because the playoffs expanded. But obviously it was,
It was close.
it was
last
close.
year.
Bengals finished 9-8 and they were in last place. So, listen, the division's loaded, the conference is loaded. Decent Deshaun is not going to be good enough. If Deshaun's great, the Browns can play with anybody in the league. I believe that. You guys believe
Absolutely. Yeah.
No doubt. The Browns have a ton of talent.
The biggest thing they did still in the past 2 years was the Jim Schwartz hiring, changing the attitude, the way they look at teams, the way they view teams, the toughness that's happened over there.
Yeah.
That's been the one thing that I felt like been missing. That toughness and that attitude has taken them further than any player has ever done.
That's right. But I do think in the end, the biggest difference right now between their roster last
Jerry
year and
Jeudy.
now is Jerry Jeudy.
Jeudy.
For all his flaws, and he's been a disappointing player in his career,
just a guy.
he's still significantly better than Elijah Moore.
He's just a
And
guy.
by the way,
according
if
to Steve
I'm the
Smith.
Browns, what do you think of this? I don't know what you guys think of this. Now, maybe the money's going to be too high because everybody's getting overpaid right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the Browns, I trade Elijah Moore and I sign Tyler Boyd to a 1-year deal.
What are you getting for Elijah? You're not getting
Not much.
Yeah, so what's the point? Just sign.
I
Just
still
sign
think he's any
Tyler
good.
Boyd.
Just sign him.
Just sign Tyler
But I
Boyd.
want to move on from Elijah Moore.
No, you keep him because injuries happen and Tyler
Injuries,
Boyd's up there.
competition.
And
That's why I got Bell and.
nah, you want to rotate that position. You always keep a fresh body.
But
that's
Elijah Moore,
productive.
first of all,
Who'd
is
you
Elijah
rather
Moore
have?
going to be happy as even the third receiver? He complained with the Jets.
Who would you rather
Well,
have,
he should
Elijah
get
Moore or
better.
David Bell?
Elijah Moore.
Okay.
But I'd rather have Tyler Boyd than Elijah
so
Moore.
if Tyler Boyd says he's tired or needs a blow, would you rather David Bell go out there in this place or Elijah Moore?
That's where I'm getting.
Fine. Okay, you keep.
For what you're going to get for Moore, it's nothing, and certainly nothing compared to what you gave up for.